We are live for the Inter Miami versus Seattle Sounders live watch along. We have a rematch of the 2025 Leagues Cup final. I think it's a pretty big game tonight. Inter Miami has obviously been derailed since their loss to, actually, they were honestly starting to spiral before the Leagues Cup final, but that was kind of the nail in the coffin, and that's really when we started to see them really start to decline as a club. But this is a chance for them to bounce back. This is a chance for them to redeem themselves after the embarrassing loss against against Seattle in the Leagues Cup final, which they lost 3-0, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. But I hope you guys are having a great night. Tuesday night game, which is interesting. Obviously, there's not very, very common. Ben says Seattle Sounders are going to beat them 5-0. Mr. says hi, Will. And then Nino says Seattle win. Ghana versus Inter Miami. Go, goal. So hope you guys are having a great night. Make sure you like the stream if you haven't already. Make sure you like the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Share with a friend. We got a long night. Hopefully it is an entertaining game. This is, like I said, it's at Miami this time instead of Seattle, which is where the final was. We will see. Now, let's look at this lineup real quick. Let me pull this up. Let me see. So the last time they played, I want to touch on this real quick. The last time they played, we saw what happened, the incident at the end of the match where there was the scrum, and then Luis Suárez obviously spit on the security guard, and it took a week for them to announce a suspension and a punishment for him, and he had a 3-game suspension. So Luis Suárez will not be making an appearance in this match tonight against the Seattle Sounders, rightfully so. And so that's interesting. We'll see how they play without him. They obviously got smoked by Charlotte FC last match 3-0, and I don't think that's necessarily because Luis Suarez wasn't playing in that match, but they got embarrassed. So they've got Messi listed up top. They've got Alba playing as a left winger, which is interesting. They got him, listed on the left wing. I do wonder if that's more of they're playing five out of the back. Fatmob obviously has them listed as a left winger, but I would assume that they're probably going to have Messi and Allende play up top, and it's going to be a five. It's going to be a 5-3-2. That's my guess, and they'll have Noah Allen, Maxi Falcone, and Lujan playing in the middle. That's what I'm thinking that the lineup they're going to run, and they have Busquets, De Paul, and Bright in the midfield, and like I said, Messi and Allende up top. That's interesting. They got De Rosario starting up top for Seattle instead of Musovski, which is interesting because he's not suspended anymore. They've got Frey playing as a 10 or a false 9. This looks like a very similar. There's a couple changes. Nuhu's back for this match. He didn't play in the final in the Leagues Cup. They've got Kim Ki-hee starting next to Yamar Gomez, and Stephen Fry's playing tonight. So Stephen Fry's back for the Seattle Sounders. I thought that Andrew Thomas was playing very well for the Sounders through the Leagues Cup run. So that's interesting to see him back. So it's not identical lineups for either side, but we'll see what happens. We'll see who wins this match. Vamos Sounders says he thinks it's going to be a 2-2 draw. Ben says Georgie is going to cook them up. Harry says it's going to be a 2-0 win for Seattle. Angus says 2-3 Seattle. Yeah, let me know what you guys think also. If you haven't, gave your prediction, who you think is going to win this match, this rematch between the Seattle Sounders and Inter Miami. I think that this is going to tell me tonight. This is going to tell me tonight how serious the Sounders are. Are they going to be able to, not the Sounders, excuse me, Inter Miami, if they're going to be a true contender in 2025? I don't think they are. I think their team is too broken and they have way too many holes. But this is going to tell me tonight if this new formation, if they're going to be able to adjust and be able to compete for the MLS Cup final and how this is going to work going forward. They're trying different things. They're trying to get something to work to try to turn around their season, and we'll see if anything helps. Right? We'll see if anything helps with this team. Not looking good so far, but we will see. Mister says he thinks it's going to be 2-1 Seattle. I think that I don't really know. This is a hard prediction for me because I don't think Seattle really plays well on the road, but Inter Miami just hasn't been good this year. So it's a tough game, honestly. It's a really tough match. I would say that I probably would agree with Mister that it is going to be 2-1 Seattle. I would say that's a fair assessment. I just think Miami's too old and they just don't have the right players to really do anything. And they just have a lot of mediocre players. They have a very mediocre coach. And I think that really has shown this season. And I don't really think that's going to change tonight. So I would agree that I think it will be 2-1. Angus says for the past few weeks, Miami has been cracking from their seams. They have. They've been really bad. They've been really, really bad this last couple games. And the match is actually about to start. Well, it'll probably be 10 minutes late, like normal, right? But I do think that Miami is really starting to crack. I do think they're starting to implode. And I tweeted this the other day, and I think that there's a very good chance that Inter Miami is going to have a new manager at the end of this season because Javier Mascherano has been very disappointing this year. He's been very disappointing. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But I they're gonna make the playoffs, and I just don't know. I just don't know what they're gonna do. I just don't think they have the pieces. I just don't think they have the pieces really. And the Eastern Conference is just so deep. It's just so good that they're gonna have a tough battle regardless of who they play in the first round. And if you remember, they played Atlanta United in the first round last year, a team that barely got into the playoffs, and they struggled against them. They struggled mightily against Atlanta United and lost that series. And that team last year, Inter Miami's team in 2024 was better than the team in 2025. It was much better in 2024 than it was in 2025. Now, when they're announcing the lineup here on Apple TV, they are showing it as a 3-4 or a 4-3-3. But I just don't think that Jordi Alba is really going to play as a left winger. And they got Messi listed up top. I really think it's going to be a 5-3-2 is the way it's going to really look. I mean, Jordi Alba obviously gets up the pitch, quite a bit during the game anyway, but I just think it's going to be more of a 5-3-2. I don't think he's actually going to be just staying up top the entire game. And Seattle's a team that I've been very, very tough on. I think Seattle has a lot of deficiencies, especially up top. I think if they had a striker, they'd probably be the best team in Major League Soccer. But they have played so well. They have played so well this last couple months that I think it really might not even matter. And they have Rusnak and Jordan Morris off the bench, which is interesting. Wonderful to see either one of those guys make an appearance tonight. But I think if Inter Miami has Messi play well, that they could win this game because, my prediction is 2-1. If you're just joining us, my prediction is 2-1. If Inter Miami can, Messi, they just rely way too much on Messi, way too much on him. Mr. says, if Seattle can do a similar job to the Cup final containing Messi, they'll win this game. Yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. You just frustrate Messi, take him out of the game, and you have a chance of winning. And also, too, Messi didn't look very good against Charlotte FC. He missed the Panenka on the penalty, and that team just looks really, really bad right now. And the problem is it's going to be really hard to make wholesale changes because Major League Soccer doesn't really let that happen. Looks like they have a Messi cam on TikTok tonight as well, which is interesting. But it's really hard to make wholesale changes in Major League Soccer. So this team is in trouble. This team is in trouble. This Miami team. They're stuck with a lot of bad contracts, and we'll see what happens. The Galactic Prophet says no way Miami's winning. I think morale is down. Morale's down. Yeah. I think morale is down. I think there is a lost confidence in this club right now. There is a lost confidence in this club right now, and you can really see that with their performances. If we're looking at their last couple games, let's just I'm gonna look up their fixtures in the last couple weeks, last couple months, and they haven't won. So the last regular season game that Inter Miami won was against the Galaxy on August 16th. So and also you had Leagues Cup, so you have to take that in consideration. But they really have struggled, and a lot of times they sporadically have success. We'll see. I just think that they're broken down and they're too old to really do anything down the stretch of the season. They're just broken down and they're too old. And it's not like they don't really have a very tough remainder of their schedule, but I just don't think they got the pieces. I'm telling you, I just don't think they have the pieces to really do anything right now. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure you give the stream a like down below. If you haven't already, it helps us out. Share with a friend. Big matchup between Seattle Sounders and Inter Miami, a rematch. Last time we saw these teams, it was chaos and it was an absolute beating. Seattle absolutely thwarting Inter Miami. So it's going to be an interesting game to see how they bounce back. It could be a repeat of the Leagues Cup final. So make sure you give this stream a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As you know, we are 200 subscribers away from 10,000. Our goal is to hit that before the start of the MLS Cup playoffs. And if we do hit that before the MLS Cup playoffs, we will be giving away a copy of FC 26. You're not going to miss that. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Mr. said the Charlotte game showed if Messi has an off day, Miami are screwed. I think that did show that. But we've kind of known that, right? We kind of known that when Messi's bad or it doesn't play well, that the team collapses. And even when he does play well, they don't necessarily win. But remember, the last two matches Inter Miami have played is the Sounders and Charlotte FC. They've lost both of those games 3-0. They've both been on the road. When Miami doesn't score one goal, they normally, It's either they score a bunch of goals or they don't score at all, and that's been the case the last couple games. Angus says, in my opinion, teams who get aggressive against Miami are most successful. It causes Miami to panic. Yeah, that's true. That's true. When you press them, it frustrates them. It makes them make bad decisions, and we've seen that has happened quite a bit. That teams have found a recipe to beat Miami. Andrew says it depends what Seattle team comes out. Seattle's just been really. Let me look and see when's the last time Seattle lost a match, because I'm curious about this. Like just in all fixtures, the last time Seattle lost a game. Okay, so the Sounders' last loss was against Minnesota United on August 16th, but before that, they haven't lost a game since PSG. They've lost one game. They've lost one game since June 23rd, and it was to Minnesota United. They haven't lost an MLS game. They've only before the Minnesota game and on August 16th, the last MLS loss they had was against the Whitecaps on June the 8th. June the 8th. So they've only had 2 MLS losses in the last 3 months. 3 months. That's incredible. Eric says Miami needs to spend more. Andre says, why the match don't start? The MLS is always delayed with their matches. It's normally about 10 minutes late from kickoff time. So it'll probably start here in the next minute or two. Barry says the Club World Cup. Yes, before Barry, the last time that they lost a game was the Club World Cup when it comes to all competitions other than the Minnesota United. But if we're talking MLS only fixtures, the last time they lost was against Vancouver on June the 8th, which is over 3 months ago. Hard to believe. So Seattle has been very consistent the last couple months. They've been very consistent. They played very, very well. And I would say that they're arguably the hottest team in Major League Soccer outside of Charlotte. And it's funny, Charlotte, there's a lot of parallels. There's a lot of similarities between Charlotte FC and the Seattle Sounders. A lot of similarities. And more details, please, about the match. Like why you have to elaborate on that. I don't know what you mean when you say that. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. Now, Seattle has a chance to maybe be the first seed. I think it's going to be a little tough because of because of San Diego being so good. But if Seattle can win tonight, they have 2 games in hand. If they can win the next 2 games, they'll be at 51 points. They'll be 5 points behind San Diego FC with 4 games remaining. And Minnesota's at 54 as well. It's going to be tough probably for them to win the Western Conference. Maybe Vancouver could. Maybe Vancouver is at 52 points with 2 games in hand over San Diego or Minnesota United. So maybe they could make a run. It really just depends. But it's going to be an interesting final. It's going to be an interesting couple remaining weeks leading up to Decision Day, which we'll do a live stream for the Eastern and Western Conference for that. But it's going to make Decision Day very, very interesting. Messi is going to play chess with him. Maybe. I don't know. They did a pretty good job of stopping him last time. We're about to kick off right now. 11 minutes late, as usual. Always fashionably late. We'll see what happens. We'll see if Inter Miami can get the revenge back and beat the Seattle Sounders at home. Very dead crowd, by the way. Very, very little people here. See a lot of empty pink seats at the match tonight. A lot of empty seats tonight at the match. Let's refresh this. There we go. All right, let's see what happens. Inter Miami's backline, huge liability. Like I said, Inter Miami, I would say any chance they have of doing anything any chance to do anything in the playoffs or the remainder of this season, we'll see tonight if they can do this, because they've had 2 very bad losses. Looks like Rodrigo De Paul to Tadeo Allende. Allende takes a shot, saved by Stephen Frey. But it looks like Tadeo Allende would have been offside anyway. So, but we need to see them come out aggressive. We need to see them play. We need to see them play aggressive. We need to see them convert some chances, create chances. Also, too, you got to think both of these teams have played a lot of matches this year. A lot of matches this year, especially Miami. Miami had to play in the Champions League or Champions Cup. They had to play in Leagues Cup, and then they also had to play in the Club World Cup. They played in 3 extra tournaments this year. Oh, shot by, was that De Rosario? Yeah, De Rosario try to fire up a deep shot. But yes, I do think that that Miami, with their age and the amount of matches they played this season, has really started to catch up to them. Harry says, "How is Seattle plus 245 underdog, even if they are on the road?" Oh, he's saying, I don't know. They do predict that Miami's going to win this match, which I would be a little surprised by, but we've seen Miami play well. It's all about number 10. It's all about number 10. Ridiculous Reefing says, "What did you think about Miami versus Charlotte?" I thought that Miami looked really bad and Charlotte looked really good. I think Charlotte's a really good team. I think Charlotte could win MLS Cup. I think they have a good chance. They could compete for MLS Cup and be a serious contender. And they're probably the hottest team in the league right now. Them and Seattle are probably the 2 hottest teams in Major League Soccer right now. And you probably have to put Vancouver in there as well. Vancouver's been really good too. But Charlotte's been good. I mean, 9 game winning streak is incredible in MLS. It's incredible in any league, and it's not unbeaten. It's 9 game winning streak. Barry says Sounders have dropped so many points this season. They have left a lot of points on the board, and if it wasn't for that, they probably would be easily the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, Barry. But you know what? Like I said, the way that they played down the stretch, it feels like they have gotten their act together. And I think that they're right where you'd want them to be a month outside the playoffs, which is a good thing. Allende with the ball outside the box. Bad giveaway. Oh, De Paul wins it from Nuhu. Rodrigo De Paul with the pass. He got out of bounds for a corner. Eric says, "Will, what does the MLS schedule change mean pre-tournament?" Pre-tournament. What do you mean pre-tournament? You talking about the World Cup? They're going to win the Shield. You talking about Inter Miami? Harry says F Nuhu. We'll see how erratic Nuhu plays tonight. We'll see if he gets a yellow or a red tonight. Messi with the corner. Cleared by Yamar. Messi gets the ball back. Ferreira blocks the pass from Messi. Ferreira passes it. Georgie gets it. Oh, it looked like De Rosario was out offside though. Jordi Alba's got the ball. Yeah, see how far Jordi Alba's so far back. They're definitely playing in the the 5 at the back. They're definitely playing with the two wing backs, Ian Frey and Jordi Alba. Rothrock. Oh, good defending. Jordi Alba's got the ball. Passes it back. No Allen. Ridiculous Reefing says Miami is lucky that Avilés isn't playing for them. Yeah, he's a liability for sure. Toto Avilés is a liability for Inter Miami. He's not very good, and he's also a yellow card machine. Oh, Messi, Yannick Bright. See, they've got 2 guys kind of like hovering around Messi right now. Who is going to win the Ballon d'Or? Probably either probably Dembele or Probably Dembele or maybe Lamine Yamal. Hopefully Lamine Yamal, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I did a poll on Twitter. Some of you guys maybe don't follow me on Twitter, or maybe I didn't do a poll. I did a post, and I said, NFL season's here, college football season's here. There MLB is still going on. There's just all these sports playing right now. NBA season's about to start next month. And MLS has had so many tournaments. It's kind of like jam-packed where it kind of feels like the season's been going so long. Are you guys kind of tired of the regular season at this point? Not MLS, just the regular season. Do you have that fatigue where you're ready for the playoffs? Or are you guys still excited about the regular season? Because there's 4 games left for most teams. But it does feel like the regular season is kind of dragging on a little bit. It does feel like the regular season has dragged on. Yeah, and NHL starts next month too. You're right, Angus. So it just feels like the regular season's kind of dragging on a little bit. And I'm excited for the playoffs, but the regular season is kind of dragging its feet. Regular season's kind of dragging its feet a little bit. I'm ready for the playoffs to start. Ready to see what happens in the playoffs. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure you like the stream down below. We have 40 of you in the chat right now. Make sure you like the stream down below. It helps us out. Share with a friend. Big matchup tonight. Exciting, fun watch along. We'll see if Inter Miami can get their revenge on the Seattle Sounders, or if the Sounders own Inter Miami. Only the second time these teams have played each other in the Messi era. We'll see who wins. Also, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Less than 200 subscribers away from 10,000. We're trying to hit that in the next month before the MLS Cup playoff starts. We'll be giving away a copy of FC 26 that you're not going to want to miss. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Eric says he's excited. Let's see. Yes, I'm assuming you're excited. You mean for the playoffs? Ridiculous Reefing says, I'm still excited because my team's climbing the table. Yeah, no, I totally get that. I'm just ready to see. Yeah, I love watching your videos. I appreciate that. I'm curious to see what the seeding's going to be. And last year was the first year we did a watch along for the Eastern Conference and Western Conference decision days. We'll do that again this year. We'll definitely do that again this year. 2 streams to see what happens and see what the seeding's going to be. Should be pretty fun. I think decision day is pretty fun, but I'm just really ready. It's like there's 28, teams that played between 28 and 30 games so far this year. It just feels like it's really starting to, get a little exhausting. Like I said, fatigue. I'm ready to kind of see it culminate and watch the playoffs and see who the champion is going to be of this 2025 season. Angus says, I'm ready for the playoffs. My team, St. Louis, ain't cutting it this year. They're not, but hopefully with the 2 bad seasons, they figured out what they need to do in order to be competitive again and how to adapt and be a better team in Major League Soccer. We'll see, Angus. I mean, you never know, man. Maybe they figured out they have to spend more to compete in MLS. Messi's better than Ronaldo for sure. Not even close. Bad giveaway by Seattle. Maxi Falcone to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba dribbling up. Bad pass from Jordi Alba. I think he was looking for Messi. No, he's looking for Allende. Man, I'm telling you, Miami have to get a striker in the offseason. They got to get a lethal striker up top. They got to spend premium money on a striker. They're going to have a DP spot open. They've got to spend some money to get that striker. John Lee says LAFC will beat anyone. I'm assuming that's what you meant, John. Yeah, they could. I mean, they looked really good this weekend when they beat San Jose 4-2 at Levi Stadium in front of 51,000 fans. That was a great game. They could. Ridiculous Reefing says Charlotte versus Philly and Nashville versus Miami are going to be exciting on decision day. Yes, those are 2 very good matchups. But I'm a little concerned. Oh, Rodrigo, what are you doing? Jordi Alba looking for Rodrigo, and he let it pass him. He thought someone was on to the side of him, and it was a bad giveaway. But I do think that Philadelphia, there's a little bit of concern with Philadelphia because of their because of their recent loss to Vancouver where they lost 7-0. That was bad. It could have been probably worse than 7-0. Could have been worse than 7-0. So that's a little concerning. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little concerning with that performance, but we'll see what happens. Angus says any decent team has to spend significant. Oh, Messi finds Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba. Oh, Jordi Alba scores. First goal in the 11th minute. That was a good goal by Inter Miami. That's what they needed. That's what they needed. That's what they needed. Inter Miami's up 1-0 over the Seattle Sounders. And like we talk about all the time, they don't just score one goal. They normally score multiple goals. So that's what they needed early on. That's what they needed. It's a good pass. Messi looking for Jordi Alba. I think that's Messi's 11th assist of the season. So now he's now got 30 goal contributions this year. That's Messi's 30th goal contribution this season. Mr. says, I've already pre-ordered FC 26 for Tom, my son. He knows dad sometimes plays it when he's in bed. You have to, man. It's not his game. It's both your game, right? You share. Yeah, I'm excited to play FC 26. I normally buy it. So what I normally do is I personally sometimes buy it when it releases, but then sometimes it'll be on sale during like the holidays. And I'll buy it then for like half price, but I'll probably buy it when it first comes out this year. Are Miami playing well? Yes, they are. Miami is playing well. They're up 1-0. Messi found Jordi Alba for the goal to take the 1-0 lead over the Seattle Sounders. Miami look a lot more relaxed, motivated. Relaxed in the sense of like they're not panicking, but they're also playing with urgency too, where they're not like just sitting back and getting dominated. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if they can keep the pressure on and not just be comfortable with the 1-0 lead. Ridiculous Reefing says you cannot be giving the ball away like that versus Miami. You can't. They will make you pay. Got Barry with a $10 super chat. He says, I love Frey. They should build him a statue. He is cooked and should not start again. I agree, Barry. I don't understand. Andrew Thomas had been playing so well. I don't really understand why they moved off of him or, moved back to Frey after he'd been playing so well. I don't understand why they didn't keep Andrew Thomas starting. Not really sure why they did that, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if Stephen Frey doesn't play well for a stretch, maybe they'll go back to Andrew Thomas. But I do think Andrew Thomas will be the starter in 2026. I don't think that Stephen Frey is going to be the starting goalkeeper for the Sounders at 30 years old. But hey, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. Who knows? But I don't think he will be the starter in 2026. The Galactic Prophet says, I really think the turf field affects these high-level athletes. It could. I mean, there's definitely some people have said that the turf can affect athletes, but I don't think it affected them that much. The travel was bad, but Inter Miami just got completely outplayed in that game. They got completely outplayed, and we'll see if they can redeem themselves today. We'll see if they can play better. My score will be 2-1. 2-1 Miami. They just said it's the first time that Seattle Sounders have trailed in a game in 450 minutes, like 450 match minutes. Yes, he thinks Miami's going to win 2-1. We'll see. We'll see what happens. They're off to a good start. 15 minutes in, it's 1-0. Looks like Miami's, been the better team thus far. Sergio Busquets with the ball. Finds Messi. Messi to Frey. Frey with the shot. He missed. Stephen Frey saves it. Team looks a lot better. I don't know why Seattle's not doing a better job of surrounding Messi. That's what they were so effective. He's got a lot of open space tonight. Normally, when he gets the ball, they'll have 2 or 3 guys kind of clamp down on him and kind of surround him. But tonight, he's got a lot of open space. Not really sure what they're doing so far, but they're giving Messi way too much space, and he's making him pay for it thus far. They are playing better without Suarez. I mean, that's true. I mean, could you, like I said, imagine if they had a true striker, a true bona fide striker who could run, could finish. They'd be dangerous. But you could say the same thing about Seattle. Seattle had a striker like that, they'd be dangerous. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Inter Miami were the favorites to win this game before it started. 47% chance of winning, 20-something% chance of a draw, and 20-something% chance of Seattle Sounders winning. And I'd say that they're probably like a 60 or 70% favorite now. Rocky says, "How is Busquets playing, but Suarez isn't? Didn't he punch him?" Yeah, I agree. That is BS that he's playing. That Suarez was the only one that was suspended. There should have been multiple suspensions, but they didn't. Suarez punched Obed Vargas, number 18 for Seattle Sounders. He punched him in the face, sucker punched him after the game. So yes, that's true. I agree with you. He shouldn't be playing tonight, but he is. So it is what it is. He should have been suspended. Noah Allen finds Busquets. Busquets lays it off to Messi. Messi finds Bright. Bright to Noah Allen. Josh says, "I'm here. Welcome to the stream." Oh, Tadeo Allende looks like he fouled. Who did he foul? I can't see. The numbers are kind of hard. Is it De Rosario? Yeah, it looks like it was De Rosario who he fouled. Numbers are really hard to see on these Sounders jerseys. You can't really make out and I mean, unless they're just like double digits, you can see, but the single digit numbers or some of these double digit numbers, you can't even see what their numbers are. Oh, bad giveaway by Yamar. Rodrigo De Paul's got the ball. Pass it to Messi. Good pass to Messi. Oh, Messi. Looks like he tripped. Yeah, looks like Yamar's pass went off of Ian Frey's arm. Sounders ball. Bad giveaway by Yamar looking for Roldán. Yeah, also to give Seattle a little bit of a break. They played the Galaxy, I think, on Saturday, right? And they lost or it was a 2-2 draw. I could be wrong about that. Oh, nice play. Georgie to Jesus Ferreira. Blocked by Noah Allen. But I think they played the Galaxy, if I'm not mistaken. It was a 2-2 draw. And then they had to fly all the way over here to the East Coast and play Miami on a Tuesday night. It's a long trip on a Tuesday. Yeah, it looks Jesus was just barely offside. He barely offside. Andrew says, "Yeah, this is what I was worried about. It's not so much the personnel, but I don't know something." What are you talking about Miami? You pull this down just a little bit. Here we go. "20 minutes in, Miami looked like the better team so far." How do you say your name? Is it Isa? Is it I? It's not Isaiah, is it? Is that how you say it too? I mean, it's spelled differently. Is it Isaiah? Or is it Isiha? Sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I hope that Messi is going back to Barca. Yes, I agree. You agree that you hope he goes back to Barcelona? Yeah, Miami's dominating the match so far. Rodrigo De Paul's got the ball. Passes it back to Maxi Falcone, who's a liability, by the way. Jordi Alba. God, they keep trying to do these dummies. They're not working. These dummies keep turning the ball over when they do this. Rodrigo De Paul's got the ball. Past midfield. Finds Jordi Alba. Alba's looking for Yannick Bright. Down the flank. Yannick Bright. Ooh. I thought that was out of bounds. Or look at his arm. Rothrock's got the ball. Looking for Georgie. A little bit short, though. Maxi Falcone's got the ball. John Lee says, I'd love to see Messi and Sony playoffs MLS. Well, the only thing about that, John, is that LAFC are in the Western Conference, Inter Miami's in the Eastern Conference. So in order for them to meet in the playoffs, they would have to meet in the MLS Cup final, the championship game of MLS. So sadly, that can't happen unless they make it to the final. But a part of me, one other change that I would think about having for MLS is getting rid of conferences. I mean, you could still schedule the games based on who, who you're close to in proximity. But I do think that one thing MLS needs to consider doing is changing conferences. Oh, Georgie. Oh, cleared by Noah Allen. Jesus Ferreira's got the ball. Fires it. Oh, saved by Ustari. I do think that that MLS needs to consider getting rid of conferences and then just having seeding the entire league rather than by conference. That way you could get some of these cool matchups. I don't know if they'll ever do that, though. Georgie's got the ball. Finds Nuhu. Back to Georgie. John says he agrees to change. Yeah, we'll see if it happens. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but we'll see. There was that report today about the calendar happening in the summer of 2027, so we'll see if that happens as well. Ian Frey wins it to Rodrigo De Paul. Inter Miami is 10-0-2 when leading or scoring first this season. Maxi Falcone. Yeah, the format might change eventually. Well, the format's bad right now, but maybe they'll change it to where it's just about the probably, I would say, 16 best teams and seed them that, like one plays 16, two plays 15, and so on and so forth. I think that would be more interesting. Angus says the Nashville-Philadelphia starts in approximately 2 minutes. U.S. Open Cups. Yeah, it's a semifinal match. We'll see what happens with that game. It's in Nashville, so we'll see who. Philadelphia is coming off of a terrible loss to Vancouver 7-0. We'll see if they can. We'll see if they can come back and beat, or if they can come back off that terrible loss and beat Nashville SC in the Open Cup semifinal. Are you going to do a live Champions League Barcelona? No, I probably won't. I don't do anything other than MLS and USMNT. Barry says, "Dear Falcone, cut your hair, hippie." He's trying to look like Puyo. Carles Puyo. He's trying to look like him. Same hairstyle. Mr. says the conferences are understandable thing. The US is well, and that's what I'm saying. Like Georgie cleared by, looks like that was Lujan. What you could still do the proximity whether you play the teams closest to you, but the seeding be the entire league rather than having the conferences. Like still play the teams, essentially play an Eastern Western Conference schedule, but then also have it to where you rank them based off points and then just have all the teams compete. That'd be cool. I think that'd be a pretty cool way to do it. Roldán. Oof, Astari barely beats it or makes it clears it. De Rosario is making a great run. It's sad that Lamine is injured. Yeah, it is. Oh, Georgie almost made a nice play. I still think Barca is going to win the Liga though. I don't think Real Madrid's going to win it. I don't think Atletico is going to win it either. Crazy Champions League games too, by the way. I was watching Dortmund and Juve 4-4. That was an incredible game. Noah Allen, Sergio Busquets. Busquets finds Messi. Messi back to Busquets. Busquets finds Lujan. Lujan finds Rodrigo De Paul. De Paul to Messi a little bit too far, but he's able to catch up to it before it goes out of bounds. Back to Alba. Messi finds Jordi Alba. Can Jordi get to it? Oh, Neymar was able to win it. Oh, kept it in play. Good defending by Neymar. Angus says you mean have it just like the supporter shield? No, so Messi. Oh, Messi off the left bar. Oh my God. Messi off the left bar. Oh, I thought he was going to make that. That was a nice move, but he hit the left bar. Oh, I thought Messi was going to make that. Oh, Ferreira with the weak pass looking for Georgie. Cleared by Ustari. Oh, I thought Messi was going to make that. No, so the supporter shield, I wouldn't say the supporter shield would be the winner of the league. I'm just saying that like you can play Eastern Western Conference based on proximity, and that way your teams aren't traveling too much. But then the point system ranks the teams in the playoffs. So you would take, I think Messi might have been a little bit offside anyway, but you would just have all the teams collectively in the entire league be seated in one thing, not East West. So one, you would have I think Philadelphia technically is the first seed in the league, would play the 16th worst team in MLS or 16th best team, I guess, based on how you look at it. Barry says, give Georgie the ball every time. Yeah, Georgie looks pretty good so far. I can't believe Messi hit the left post. Oh. Mr. says, also having a straight 30-team league would be a bit much. Yeah, I mean, that is a lot. That is a lot. 30 teams is a lot. But, the U.S. is big, but I still think that's why we do need to have some sort of pro rel, an MLS version of it, and that way we can have less teams because it does feel a little watered down a little bit because there's so many damn teams. Georgie. Oh. Good defending by Frey. The Galactic Prophet says, Lamine not injured. He has a public issue. Oh, okay. You didn't say public. You said something else. Gotcha. Harry says, never going to happen with this MLS owners, but do promotion relegation 16-14. They probably do. I think they're going to go to like 36 teams maybe one day and then maybe do 18-18. Jesus Ferreira, wide left. Wayne says, Messi might be washed, man. That was not good. I wouldn't say he's washed yet, but he's definitely not in the best of form at the moment. He's definitely not in the best form at the moment. John Lee says point system work playoff. Yeah. Andres says Jesus Ferreira doesn't do shit. No, he doesn't. He doesn't do anything. He's bad. He was a terrible trade for the Seattle Sounders. But, I mean, it is what it is. Looking for Allende, cleared by Neymar. Neymar is, okay, by the way, Neymar is the best defender in Major League Soccer. He's been the best defender in MLS since he's been here since 2020 or either 2020 or 2019. Can't remember which year it was he came to MLS. Neymar is the best defender in MLS. He's incredible. He's consistent. He's an enforcer. He is the best defender in MLS. I love Neymar. He's incredible. He's a big reason why Seattle Sounders have had such consistent success and why they have been able to win some of these big games because they have someone like him in the back line. A true enforcer. Angus says having 20 to 24 teams would be optimal. It would be. It would be. Maybe if they do go to 40 teams and do 20 and 20, that'd be possible, but it's a little difficult to do that. That's why I'm thinking they go to 36 and maybe do an 18 and 18, but we'll just have to see. Eric says, dude, MLS might have to divide like MLB or NFL for each region if we get over 36 teams. I think they could do that, honestly. I think they could. The funny thing is that they have 30 teams now. That's how many baseball teams there are. Bad giveaway by Seattle. Rodrigo De Paul's got the ball. Finds Yannick. Yannick to Jordi Alba. Yannick Bright. Messi. Back to Noah Allen. Okay, they're starting to slow down a little bit. They're starting to look a little. They're starting to look a little bit more lethargic. Inter Miami is starting to look a little bit more lethargic. Yannick Bright with a good pass to Jordi Alba. Can he get it? He's able to keep it in play. Jordi Alba with the cross. Oh, Ian Frey almost scored there. Good save by Stephen Frey. Great save by Stephen Frey. Manuel with the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. It says MLS 40 teams D1, 20 teams D2, 20 teams then Next Pro D3. That's an interesting proposal. That's kind of something they'll probably call it MLS 1 and MLS 2, and there won't be a way to get into MLS 2. Like these are the only two leagues they're going to have. They'll have a Division 3. Oh, Messi tried to score. But they will probably have it MLS 1, MLS 2, and they will have it to where you cannot get into MLS 2. D3 would be the, like you're saying, Next Pro just for developmental purposes. But the lowest you can go is D2, obviously highest you can go is D1, and that's probably what they'll be. 40 teams locked in, pro rel. And I honestly would be cool with that. That's fine. I'm cool with that because that would punish bad teams, and we would see new teams going in and out of the league. I think that would be really, really cool. That would be really, really cool to have a 40. Oh, Jesus Ferreira, a little too much on it. Looking for De Rosario. I think that'd be a really cool concept. Barry says, how is Frey not catching that? He's old, man. He's washed. He's washed, Barry. Sad. He definitely deserves a statue alone for the save he had against Toronto FC in 2016. But yes, I think he's washed for sure. Eric says USL might be more successful than MLS. They just don't have the financial backing, I don't think, to really be as successful as MLS. Jordi Alba. Back to Noah Allen. I just think Miami's starting to look a lot. They're starting to look a little tired. A little tired. Andre says D3 USL if they can acquire them. And that's another thing too. I think that could be in play. I do think MLS might end up acquiring USL. Like that's where we're going to head. And we'll have to see how that works, all the teams that they have. Seattle with the throw in. Rothrock finds Neymar to Jesus Ferreira. Georgie with the ball. Oh, good defending by Ian Frey. Out for a throw in for Seattle. The possession's been pretty close so far throughout this game. It's 52-48. Inter Miami's winning. Inter Miami has an expected goal rate of 0.87. Seattle has an expected goal rate of 0.07. Miami has 5 shots. Seattle has 3. But yeah, it's Miami. Miami just look like the better team so far tonight. They do. They look like the better team so far. Finds Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba to Busquets. Oh, it's Allende, actually. Allende. Allende back to Jordi Alba. Nobody in the box. One guy in the box, which is Allende. Oh, man. Only one guy in the box for Miami. Ace Lionel says, "Hey guys, y'all ready for Miami to win? We'll see. They're looking good so far. This would be a good bounce back win for them after their loss against Charlotte, and it'd be a good. I don't want to call it. I mean, it is kind of a revenge game because they lost to Seattle last time they played. So I guess it would be a good revenge game." Eric Saul says, "But would USL or MLS be the second division if they merged?" MLS too. I don't know exactly what they would do with the clubs they bought. I'm not really sure. There wouldn't be a merger. There'd be an acquisition. Angus says, as long as MLS and USL are separate entities, the MLS will be considered much more superior. It's true. They will be. They will be for sure. Manuel says, each owner can own a team in each division. I guess they technically can. Jordi Alba finds Messi. Messi just looks so slow. Good play by Nuhu to beat Rodrigo De Paul. Finds Georgie. Weak pass to Georgie, though. Georgie finds Obed Vargas. Rancy to Rothrock. Rothrock to Ferreira. Ferreira finds Georgie. God, Seattle's attack is just so hard. I mean, defensively, they're not bad. This is the frustrating part. Normally, Seattle have several chances. Tonight they've struggled a little bit in the attack. Who crosses it? Oh, they were sorry, just wide. I couldn't tell at first. It looked like he maybe he would have put it in the right lower corner, but it's a little bit too wide. Or it's very wide, actually. Balde is next. Alba, do you agree? Possibly. Alba was really good. Still is pretty good. Harry, then that's the jump major league and AAA minor league situation. Yeah, no, that's kind of like that would be a fair comparison. Yeah, Dave Rosario was complaining saying he got fouled inside the box, that he was being held. Ref seemed like he didn't want to hear it. Argovia says, "Hey, Will, it's me, no name from Switzerland. I thought this account is better to say the name rather than no name. And cool stream as always. Appreciate that, Argovia. Appreciate you. Or as your alter ego, no name. Yeah, appreciate you for stopping by, my friend. Inter Miami's looking better tonight. Inter Miami's looking much better tonight. Hope you're having a great late night in Switzerland, my friend. This is a lot earlier game than we're used to as well, because this game kicked off at 7:30. I'm used to the games being at like 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. This game kicked off a lot earlier than normal. And we're almost 40 minutes in, right? Oh, looks like Messi got did he get fouled outside the box? It looked like he got tripped up. No call, though. Jordi Alba finds Frey. Frey with a terrible cross. Oh, my God. Ace Lino says, wow, no foul. It looked like Messi got tripped outside the box to me, but I'd have to see a replay on it. But like the first look looked like he got tripped up. Harry says 2-0 Miami. I mean, we know that they score in droves, so I wouldn't be surprised. Yannick Bright wins the ball back. Jordi Alba with a beautiful pass. Oh! Messi finds it. He scores. Beautiful pass by Jordi Alba. That was a little bit of a shaky finish, but he was able to find it. So the roles reverse. Messi found Jordi Alba first for the first goal. Now Jordi Alba finds Messi for the second goal. They score. They're up 2-0. Like I said, they score multiple goals. Either they score a lot or they score none. Inter Miami's up 2-0. That's his 20th goal. Yeah, it's 20th goal of the season. 20 goals, 11 assists this year, 31 goal contributions. Barry says effing cooked for the $10 super chat, talking about Stephen Frey. Stephen Frey is cooked. He's done. The team does not look as good. I think Andrew Thomas would have saved that, or as I like to call him, Brian Thomas. If you know, you know. But yes, that was not good. That was not good, Barry. We'll have to see. Hopefully, Andrew Thomas gets the next start. No disrespect to Stephen Frey, by the way. Love him, but I think it's over. Little Leo. Goal. Harry says I was reporting. I must be like 10 seconds. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Sorry, you must be 10 seconds ahead of me. Andres says De Paul needed to make sure he got a hug. Yeah. Mr. says, I'd just like to point out that both goals came from Yannick Bright hustling. Yannick Bright is good. He's been struggling a little bit this year, but he's starting to play a lot better. They need him to play better. They need Yannick Bright to play better. And I think he finally is. I think he finally is starting to play a little bit better. They're in the driver's seat. They look much better tonight than they have. They look a lot better than they have. Much better than and look who they were looking for again. They're looking for, I think that was that Noah Allen looking for Yannick Bright, or maybe it was Jordi Alba. But yeah, they're looking a lot better than they have the last couple games. They look a lot better than they have the last couple games. And it wasn't looking positive after that loss to Charlotte FC this weekend. But, you know, we see what they can do when they play well. Mr. says, I read that one. Sorry, Mr. Barry says, Kim and Frey are horrible. Kim Key is bad. He's really bad. Messi finds Allende. Allende finds back to Messi. Oh, weak shot saved by Stephen Frey. Oh, God. You know, Allen just blatantly shoved Paul Rothrock. He's going to get a yellow. He should get a yellow for that. I mean, he just blatantly pushed him in the back. It's a good look by Allende to actually pass it not too late. Eric says, the lack of Suarez makes this team look good. Yeah, less old guys who are slow and can't do anything. It does, yes. Less La Tortugas on the pitch is always a good thing. Argovia says, the cool thing is my dad is in Spain for 1 month and with his girlfriend, I can live in his house for a month so I can watch the stream on TV without having to worry about neighbors. That's pretty awesome. Yes. Hopefully the game is entertaining to you so far. Hopefully you're enjoying the game. Oh, looking for Georgie. Goes out of bounds. Is that throw in for Miami? Or is it throw in for Seattle? Rodrigo De Paul. A little bit of a dangerous pass. Finds Jordi Alba. Almost took out Sergio Busquets' head. Almost in the 45th minute. We'll have probably a couple minutes of added time. Jordi Alba finds Busquets. I think this 5 in the back looks a lot better. Oh, too hard of a pass. Busquets looking for Messi. I don't understand tonight. We'll talk more about this at halftime. 2 minutes of added time, by the way. I'm going to take when halftime starts up, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break because I have to. I've drank a lot of water today. But I don't really understand what Seattle's game plan is. I don't know why they're not focusing more on Messi and they're giving him so much open space. They're not clamping down on him and having 2 or 3 defenders when he gets the ball kind of swarm him. I don't really understand that. That's what really worked for him the last game and worked for a lot of other teams. They played Miami this year. I'm not really understanding what they're doing thus far, but we'll see what happens. We'll see how we'll see how it finishes down the stretch of the season. Excuse me, the rest of this game. Suarez is putting good press. Suarez is putting good press, but his run is like a grandpa. Yeah, we call him La Tortuga because he's so slow. Rothrock has the ball. Rothrock. Oh, good save by Ustari. Barry, why is Paul Rothrock still wearing the club? Argovia says, hey, Will, how is the attendance and is the game entertaining? I'm watching the stream, but I don't have Apple TV. The the attendance looks so. Looks like probably maybe half capacity, and the game is good so far. It's very good, entertaining. Inter Miami's up 2-0. Little bit over 30 seconds left of added time. Messi wins the ball. Messi. Oh, he's looking for Allende. He didn't make the run though. Oh, win the ball back. Last chance for the half. Rodrigo De Paul's got the ball. Rodrigo De Paul to Sergio Busquets. Busquets finds Messi. Messi finds Frey. Oh. All right, that's the half. It's 2-0 Inter Miami over Seattle Sounders. Pretty good first half for Inter Miami. Pretty good first half. All right, I'm going to use the restroom real quick. But before I let you go, we got to talk about the performances. I want to know what you guys think. Give me a grade for both teams. What would be your performance grade for Seattle 1 through 10, Inter Miami 1 through 10 that first half? What would you give their grades? 1 being bad, 10 being perfect. What would you rate the first half by both of these teams? Let me know. Make sure you put S or M when you give me your grade so I know which team you're talking about. Be back in 30 seconds. We'll talk about the halftime and get your guys' prediction on what you think is going to happen before the second half starts. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Had to do a quick bathroom break, but let me know. Like I said, what would you? We'll do Miami first. What would you give Miami's first half performance? 1 through 10, 1 being terrible, 10 being absolute, or excuse me, 1 being terrible, 10 being perfect. What would you give Inter Miami's first half performance? And I would give them personally. I think they played pretty well in the first half, about as good as you possibly could. I would probably give them a 9. Wasn't a 10 because a 10 obviously means, you probably have to score 3 or 4 goals to be a 10 in the first half. But based on their last couple performances, I would give Inter Miami a 9. I thought they were really good in the first half. I thought that they, outside of the Messi miss where he hit the left post, it was pretty good. They got 2 goals. They're up 2-0. Look much better. No mishaps defensively so far. And they just look like the better team at this point. So I would give them a 9. And let's see. Mr. Mister says he'd give them an 8. RFJ says he'd give them a 7. Anthony says he'd give them a 7. Isaiah says he'd give them a 9. Michael says he'd give them an 8. Too many missed chances. I agree with that. What would you give Seattle? What would you give Seattle 1 through 10, 1 being terrible, 10 being perfect? What would you give Seattle so far in the first half? Let me know what you guys would give Seattle Sounders, and I'll read Mr. Mister because he gave me a Sounders score. He gave them a 4. Angus says he'd give Seattle a 3. I would probably give Seattle a 3 or probably a 3. You have to take in consideration that they are that they're playing across country on a Tuesday night after they played a game on Saturday. This isn't their entire first their first choice starting 11, but they just haven't been able to do anything in the attack. Like the attack has been non-existent. They haven't had any, they have a couple shots They have 6 shots, but they don't have any big chances. Inter Miami have 8 total shots with 3 big chances. Possession's pretty much the same, but the attack has just been non-existent for the Sounders so far in the first half, and I think that is detrimental of why they have not played well. That has been detrimental to them, and that is why they're not playing well. So I would give Seattle probably a 3. And RFJ, excuse me, says he would give them a. Well, I guess your 6 was your 6 for Seattle. You have to let me know if that was a 6 for Seattle. Anthony says he's a 3 for Seattle. Jaws says he is an 8 for Inter. 3 for Seattle. And Have Hope says Messi officially has 769 non-penalty goals, beating the previous record of 768 held by himself. Yeah, he's just breaking his own records, right? MD says, don't worry, second half will be also Miami in favor. We'll talk about that in a second. We'll get the second half predictions. RFJ says they've not used to the humidity. They're not used to the humidity. That's probably true. Argovi says, did you watch the Champions League today? Tomorrow also starts knockouts round of Libertadores. I didn't. I watched the Dortmund and the Juve game earlier. That's the only game I watched, which was crazy. It ended 4-4 draw. Anthony Booker says, do you think LAFC is better than Miami now? Yeah, I do think they are, actually. Right now, they probably are. MD says, never mess with Messi now. They are going to pay for it. Where is the Paul Rothrock the GOAT? Yeah, I mean, listen, they're having a good first half. They're having a good first half Inter Miami. They're doing good in possession. They have 8 shots, 6 on target. Seattle has 5, 2 on target. They look a lot better. It is Messi revenge, and that's what we're going to do a post game that you guys aren't going to miss. We always do post games after every watch along. You guys are not going to miss that. It's going to drop probably 20 or 30 minutes after the match ends. But let's get to this. I want to get your guys' prediction. Who do you think is going to win the second half? It's 2-0. 2-0 Inter Miami. After the first half, this is the rematch of the Leagues Cup final. But before you guys let me know your prediction, make sure you like the stream down below. We're almost at 40 likes. Let's try to get to 50. Like the stream down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We've already gained 10 subscribers since we've been live tonight. So we're 180, a little over 180 away from 200 subscribers. And once we hit 10K, which we're trying to do before the MLS Cup playoff starts in a month, once we hit 10,000, we'll be doing an FC 26 giveaway that you're not going to miss. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already and hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of my videos, live stream watch-alongs, or post-game recaps. But I want to know what your guys' prediction is in the second half. Who do you think is going to win? Angus says he thinks it's going to be 2-1 Miami. Argovia says Miami probably. They want revenge. Hope Neymar is going to Miami. We'll see. We'll see if he does. MD says Messi's learned from the mistake. That's why he didn't pass to Tadeo Allende and said Jordi Alba. Galactic Prophet says you think the other goalkeeper was playing for Leagues Cup. That score would be lower. Probably. Okay, I think Miami's definitely going to win this game. I think it's going to probably be 3-0. I think it's going to be the reverse of what we saw in the final of Leagues Cup. It's going to be 3-0 Inter Miami over Seattle Sounders, which would be a little funny. And there's a little irony in that finish because of, what the final was when they played in Leagues Cup. But I think Miami's probably going to win this game 3-0. Cringe, I'm glad you could make the stream, my friend. Hope everything's well. Good game so far if you're an Inter Miami fan. Not so good if you're a Seattle Sounders fan, but there's some nuance to this. There's obviously context to this not being the first choice starting 11 for the Seattle Sounders. But I don't want to take anything away from them because Miami has looked good. Miami has looked good. Ace Lino says, I wonder if there's any jersey exchange this time. Not this game. Not this game. I don't think they're exchanging any. That would be funny, though, if you could exchange your Rothrock jerseys for a Messi jersey. That'd be funny. Cringe says, Miami is playing pretty well. I've been pretty down on the team lately, but they're playing well finally. They're playing a lot better right now. They are definitely playing a lot better right now. Have Hope says Messi also became the top scorer of Miami, beating previous record held by himself, officially 390 assists with the most in history, and also broke the record held by himself on the process. We ain't done yet. That's funny. James says, hey, Will, did you see Tim Weah score for Marseille today against Real Madrid? He made a history today by being the first American to score at Bernabeu. No, I did see that and they lost Madrid. Or maybe, was it a draw or did they lose? I can't remember. But either way, they had a bad performance. That was nice to see. Hopefully, Timothy Weah can play a lot better down this calendar year or this season and be effective for the USMNT in 2026. That's a good start. Cringe says, Will, did you see Messi and Vargas chatting it up? I didn't see that. Was that pregame? I might have missed that when I was looking at the chat. I might have missed that. I did not see that if that happened pregame or at some point during the match. MD says, Will, God bless you. I love you. I love you so much. Best MLS content creator. Why not make a vlog video, attend an MLS game? Maybe. It's just kind of hard. I'm starting a family. I'm having a kid here in like 2 months, so it might be a little difficult. And also, too, not that I would ever be opposed to doing that, but I like watching games with you guys at home. That way we can chat and watch it together and kind of see what happens together. I really like watching the games at home with you guys. William Ayers says, hi, Will. Good evening, bro. William, I appreciate you for joining us from Ecuador, my friend. Hope you're having a great night. Cringe says, halftime. Oh, when he's talking to Obed, yeah, I guess I must have missed. I had to use the restroom like right when halftime started, so I might have missed it. Have Hope says, I could have sworn Captain America scored versus Madrid away. I think that they didn't use they didn't play at Bernabeu though. Maybe they didn't. You talking about Pulisic? Argovia says, have you played Elden Ring? I haven't played Elden Ring. I haven't played. A lot of my friends do, but I have never played Elden Ring. MD says, hey, Will, if your channel hits 15K, you will attend an MLS Cup final. Attend the MLS Cup final. If it hit 15K, I would hit this. I wouldn't be able to attend this MLS Cup final because I'll have a kid, but I wouldn't be opposed to maybe going to one like maybe next year or something. Maybe. Workflow says it was after the halftime whistle was blown. Yeah, the UCLA, the Champions League semifinals too. You're talking about Pulisic? Yeah. With Chelsea, right? Second half's close to starting. I think it's going to be interesting to see how they come out of the gate. We'll see if they make any substitutions, though, too, because, it's a blessing and a curse. Inter Miami do have a bunch of games in hand. I think they have 8 games remaining at 7 after this. But the problem is they have to play them in a congested schedule. They have to play a game on, let's see. So there's 2 games on tomorrow night. I might do a watch along for that RSL LAFC match. We'll just have to see. But they are also have to play a game this weekend against DC United. So the schedule is condensed. It's brutal. They have an old team. They've already played so many matches. Inter Miami's going to have their work cut out for them. We'll see what they can do, or we'll see if they play well. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some substitutions in the second half. I mean, they'll have 3 days of rest after today before that game on Saturday, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some guys pulled so that way that they could get some rest for that game against DC United, even though DC United's kind of bad. Ace Lino says Madrid robbed Weah for the man of the match. Yeah, he played really well for Marseille. MD says, okay, which team do you want to win the World Cup in 26? What is your prediction? Oh, I mean, I definitely want the United States to win the World Cup in 26, but I think that Spain is going to win the World Cup. I think Spain's going to win the World Cup in 2026. Argovia says, Will, Elden Ring was my first Souls game, and it was awesome. I think you would also like it. If you ever have problems with the boss, you can summon me and I'll help you beat the boss. Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's good. I mean, a lot of people play Elden Ring. It's a very popular game. I'll have to give it a try sometime. Maybe in the winter when there's, hard to do anything with the weather. Angus says, play all the videos you can. You are young. That disappears a lot more with children. Yeah, well, I'll be finding out very soon. I'm going to be limited in what I can do, probably in the next couple months. William says, Will, you know what exactly happened to Philadelphia? I didn't watch the match against Vancouver, but how did they lose 7-0 if they are the leaders? They lost because they had a lot of they had a pretty heavy rotation. I think there was like 3 or 4 starters out. Andre Blake is still out, and I think that's why they lost. That's not the only reason they lost, but that was a part of why they lost. And plus Vancouver's just really good. They're a very good team. They're really good. Have Hope says 2021 Chelsea won, Madrid won at some dusty Madrid stadium. Chelsea won the second leg 2-0. Captain assisted in that one. And then they obviously went on to beat Man City in the final. James says, how do you feel or how do you see our friendlies for the USMT against Ecuador and Australia for October? Ecuador's defense is rock solid now, so I don't think we will score against them. I mean, I don't know. I thought we looked a lot better in that second match against Japan, but it really depends on who we call into that camp, who is going to be there. I don't feel great about it, but I don't necessarily feel bad about it either. I think that we should be able to compete in both of those matches, both of those friendlies, but we'll see. We'll just have to see what team that Mauricio Pochettino calls in. Grinch says Spain looks pretty unbeatable right now, and they have and here's the thing: they have the best player in the world, and he's only 18 years old. They had the best player in the world, and he's only 18 years old, and he's going to be playing his first World Cup at 19 years old, and he's already the best player in the world. So, Cringe says Norway might be a dark horse. They could be. Your boy Holland, right? Scoring on these small country teams. He's gonna have his total goals when his career is over is gonna be insane. Second half is officially kicked off. It is 2-0 Inter Miami. Second half officially kicked off between Inter Miami and the Seattle Sounders. Argovia says, will you ever do a live stream for EAFC community tournament? I wouldn't say that I wouldn't do that, but I'm not sure if I will either. It just really depends. Galactic Prophet says, how much World Cup coverage will you do next year? I think it would be really good idea for the channel to do reviews and prediction videos. Oh, I'm going to be all in. I'm all in. World Cup, I'm going to be all in. USMNT, some other stuff too. I'm going to be all in on the World Cup in 2026. All in. All my chips will be in the middle, and I'm hoping that we can be somewhere close to 15K subscribers by the start of the World Cup. We'll see where we're at. No pressure on it. We'll see. We'll see where we're at, but I'm hoping that the World Cup can be a huge payoff for the channel and help us grow and help the league grow and help soccer grow in this country. So we'll see what happens. Harry says Aussies are AFC version of parked bus. William Mayer says, I hope Poach calls McKinney and Cardoso in against Ecuador. I think he will. Harry says, no way Norway is winning. Probably not, but we'll see. Drink Me says Allende still stinks. He always has, always will. Alec Bright looks for Jordi Alba. Ernest says that Nashville scored. So I guess Nashville's up 1-0 over Philadelphia. We'll see if Philadelphia collapses towards the end of the season. That'd be a shame to see them collapse so badly after starting so well at the beginning of this season, but we'll see. Or this entire year. We'll see if they are able to hold it together or if they fall apart. MD says, Will, who is your favorite player and who is your GOAT? Landon Donovan or Christian Pulisic? For me, Pulisic is a complete football win, Champions League and everything, but Donovan not outside the North America. I think that Donovan had a better USMNT career so far. And who is my favorite player? Are you talking about who's my favorite USMNT player or who is my favorite player of all time? Oh, nice layoff to Jordy. Or is it No Allen? No Allen wasn't able to catch up to it. Argovi says, I hope USA plays Switzerland. I hope they don't play them again. I hope they don't play them again. Looks like Kim Ki hurt his left hand. Angus says Nashville scores at 35th minute by Sam Surge. Yep, Sam Surge has been doing really well. Did No Allen kick him in the wrist? Oh, no. Oh, he stepped on his hand. Oh, yeah. I think it was an accident, but Noah Allen stepped on Kim Ki-hee's left hand. That hurts. Ashcan says, Will, who do you think will win the The final was it say final Limisia in March 2026 between Argentina and Spain. Copa America winner versus European winner. Spain. I think Spain will definitely win because they just have a better all around team at this point, and I just think that Lamine is that good. Favorite USMNT player of all time. My favorite USMNT player of all time. It's really hard. Favorite USMNT player of all time. I was a really big Dempsey fan back in the day, like really big Dempsey fan. I loved Tim Howard. There's just so many players that I loved. Like, I don't think anybody from the current USMNT would be considered my favorite player. It would be someone from the past teams. I don't know. It's a tough one. That's a tough one. It would be a tie between Tim Howard, Clint Dempsey, and Jermaine Jones. Like, I loved all three of those players and their tenacity and their heart and what they did for the USMNT. It'd be really tough. Angus says if Philly collapses, it won't be the first time that a Bradley Carnell team does so during the season. Yep. They definitely that had obviously happened in the 2023 season, the first year. But damn, is his hand instantly bruised? Looks pretty bad for Kim Ki-hee. But we'll see. We'll see if Philadelphia does crumble. When is the second half starting? It's already started. It's already started. It's underway. Let me refresh this too, because this is like kind of behind by like 2 minutes. Why is it so far behind? I don't understand why it's behind. I'm at the 50th minute on my side, so I don't know why it's so far behind on that. Argovia says, I think Argentina will win because they have way more heart, especially for smaller tournaments than European countries. I mean, they could win for sure. Cringe says there's so many injuries in MLS, it's kind of scary. There is a lot of injuries. Oh, Yannick Bright with the ball. Deflect out of bounds. Looks like it's going to be a corner. Okay. Well, I'm not sure what you're saying okay to, but all right. Rocky says James is a great shout. James, who are you speaking to? Ashkin says, are you going to do a watch along for LAFC tomorrow as well? I think I will. I didn't realize they play tomorrow. They play RSL. There's a good chance I do a watch along for that match as well. Okay, they're saying Kim Ki-hee has to stay off the field for 2 minutes. Oh, nice goal. Rodrigo De Paul finds Ian Frey for the header. 3-0 Inter Miami over Seattle Sounders. Beautiful cross, or beautiful corner, excuse me. Great header by Ian Frey. 3-0. Leagues Cup scoreline, like I said. Leagues Cup scoreline, like I said. The revenge. Inter Miami gets their revenge over the Seattle Sounders. Too easy. Way too easy. Barry with the $10 super chat says, classic letdown. Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, I just think Barry, Stephen Frey has got to be done after this. That wasn't necessarily his fault because Ian Frey was poorly marked, but his reaction wasn't good either. Julian says, do you think that Reed Baker Whiting can go to Europe soon? I don't think he's ready yet. Not yet. Rodrigo De Paul finds Ian Frey out wide. Was he onside? Looks like he was. Back to Rodrigo De Paul. De Paul to Yannick Bright. Yannick Bright looks for Jordi Alba, passes a little bit behind him, but he catches up to it. Jordi Alba, pass it to Allende, dummies it to Messi. Messi. Deflect out of bounds for a corner. favorite USMNT player. Yeah. Well, like I said, I think it's a three-way tie between Jermaine Jones, Tim Howard, and Clint Dempsey. Let's go, Frey. Goal. Ashcan says this is a big win for Inter Miami. Seattle are the MLS Cup favorites. They are. Frey Barry says Frey can't start another game the rest of this. I agree. He can't. He can't. Julian says, will you cover the USMNT U20 in the World Cup? Possibly. There's a possibility I would. Oh. Angus says Spain does seem to have a good chance to win. They seem really revved up, and the team cannot internally choke. I just think they're just. I just don't see any other team in the world. I haven't seen a team in Europe more specifically that was good enough to really compete with them. Cringe says, you think Inter Miami gets more than 4 goals? Maybe. I think it's probably getting 3-0. That was my prediction, but they could. I mean, it's the 54th minute. It's 3-0 Inter Miami over Seattle. Revenge game. Messi a little bit too far. He's looking for Ian Frey. It is the revenge game, and they are getting the revenge. Now, obviously, there's not going to be a trophy that comes with this win, but it is nice to know that a team that embarrassed you, and obviously the spit gate with Luis Suarez, that they were able to come out on the other side of this and get a win. Like, that's obviously what you would want. Oh, finds Georgie down the left flank. Georgie, the cross to Rosario. Ooh. Was that deflected? I couldn't tell if that was deflected. If that wasn't deflected, that was a terrible finish by De Rosario. That's exactly why they need a strike. Let's see if this is deflected. God, Falcone's so slow. Oh, it went off it looks like it went off the post. Looks like it went off the post. Yep, off the post. That's why Seattle needs a striker. That's exactly why Seattle needs a legit striker, not Jordan Morris, not Musovski, not De Rosario. That right there is why they need a striker. By the way, Maxi Falcone, literally, what is the Spanish word for quicksand? Because we're going to call him that. We have we have La Tortuga. We were calling Benjamin Kramaski, El Caracol. We're going to call Maxi Falcone quicksand because that's what he is. He's quicksand. Nothing quick about him, though. He's stuck in quicksand. Ace Lino says, wow, big difference compared from real grass to turf. Oof. The Galactic Prophet says, so I'm assuming this new Miami lineup and keep Busquets at the center mid will be the start moving forward. 5 in the back looks like it's working pretty well. Gives Jordi Alba that chance to kind of he's playing mostly as a wing back, but he gives him a chance to kind of roam around a little bit, like they said. Michael Pelly says the first round MLS Cup playoffs is going to be a grinder. I have no idea who are going to make it out. Upsets for sure. There always is. Decent clearance. It was all right clearance by Noah Allen. Connor Bright gets fouled. It looks like Rothrock. No, it was Kim Ki-hee with the foul. It threw me off because he's got the bandage on his hand now. It looks like Paul Rothrock. Rocky says, I'd argue that Vancouver are MLS Cup favorites. They definitely are up there. They're up there for sure. Pluto says we want 6 goals tonight to make up for the last 2 games. Don't forget this the Spain. Yeah, that's what people were saying earlier. That's in March. How do you say that? Is it Arena Movdisa? Is it Movdiza or is it Movediza? How would you say that? Like, what's the pronunciation of that? But that's his new nickname. Maxi Falcone is definitely the quicksand. Angus says there's a huge home team advantage in MLS. One change this year is that there are more away wins than draws. Ian Frey with a good header. Tries to find Messi. Roldán beats Messi. William Maris says, I like the fact that U.S. is becoming to export coaches. For instance, former 90s USMNT players Tom Dooley is the new Guyana coach, so he is the coach of De Rosario. Interesting. Prince's turf makes the ball move super fast. It does. It's turf does make the ball move fast, and it makes it very bouncy. Like when it hits off the turf, it the trajectory of the ball is like very, very bouncy. A lot higher than grass. Ooh, Georgie with a nice play. Ooh, good defending by Frey. Good matchup on the left side between Georgie and Ian Frey. Very good matchup between Georgie and Ian Frey in this game. Sounders could have used someone like Joveljic instead of Sporting Kansas City. Oh, if they had Joveljic, it'd be way different this year. Let go of Albert Rusnak and sign Dejan Joveljic. Brunel's coming on and Jordan Morris is coming on. Pluto says 6-0 loading, guys. Ace Lino says the last one you said it right. Well, I can't even remember the last one I said. I'd have to go back and look at the way I said it. Arena Movediza. Arena Movediza. Maybe that's right. We shall see. Bro Ustari, but Ustari is old, but he is a nightmare for strikers. He does have a calming presence. Ustari does, but sometimes he has a really bad game that can cost this team. But lately, he's been playing pretty well for Inter Miami. Ustari, not lately, but this year he's shown that he can play well. But he also can play really bad. He's just inconsistent. But when he played really good in the Club World Cup. Ashcan says, Ainge recently became the Nottingham Forest coach. I bring it up because people were mentioning a move to MLS. Yeah, so Ainge definitely will not be the next manager of LAFC now with that appointment, which is sad in a sense, but I think some of the South Korean fans and Tottenham fans were warning against not signing him. Oh, good win by Georgie. Oh, nice play by Georgie. Oh, Busquets has fouled Georgie. What Georgie's doing is so impressive too, because he literally has one eye. He lost one of his eyes or his vision. He has both of his eyes, Georgie does, but he lost one of them to an infection a couple years ago. So it's his left eye. It is hard to have balance. It is hard to kind of like, obviously limited peripheral vision because he doesn't have one of his eyes that work. So it is impressive to see what Georgie's able to do against the odds and play so well, even with his unfortunate situation. And I'm a big fan of Georgie. I heard he's a very nice guy. Rusnak with a cross. It's a really weird header by Maxi Falcone. I don't know what he was doing there. Georgie. Nice play by Georgie. Oh. Harry says Nottingham Forest is not exactly stable situation. Ainge could easily be out by the end of the EPL season, especially if he can't keep can't keep Forest at least somewhere in the mid-table. We'll see what happens, but they're going to have a new coach by then. LAFC will. So I wouldn't be surprised if they already have their replacement lined up. Almost to the 63rd minute, Inter Miami's up 3-0 over the Seattle Sounders. Very good bounce back game. Very good bounce back game for Inter Miami. Oof. Bro, Isak is going to cook Real Madrid. We'll see. Barry says, how is Georgie not playing a minimum of 30 minutes per game? I agree. I don't know how Georgie isn't playing more than what he is. I honestly think that if they're not going to play Georgie more, he should try to get a move somewhere else where he could start. I think Georgie could start on a couple MLS teams. Easily could start on some MLS teams. Brunel to Obed Vargas. I think Obed Vargas has had a bad game too. I haven't really noticed him much in this game. I don't think Obed's had a good game. I think the best player for Seattle, the most noticeable player for Seattle this game has been Georgie. He wins it back. Obed Vargas with a shot saved by Ustari. And he says, will anyone watch Vancouver tonight? Does Vancouver play in the Canadian Cup? Oh, it was deflected by Maxi Falcone. Argovia says, is the game entertaining or is it one-sided? It's pretty one-sided, honestly. It's pretty one-sided. Inter Miami's dominating. But just because the game is one-sided doesn't mean it's not entertaining, because it's better to have a one-sided game than a game that's a draw that it's both teams look bad, right? Andy says yes, the semifinal tonight. Who do they play tonight? Do they play a Canadian Premier League team, or do they play TFC? Do they play Montreal? Who do they play in the semifinal? No, Allen finds Messi. Georgie Best, Michael Bisping, and Liver King all on one functioning eye. Only have one functioning eye. Oh, really? Interesting. I mean, it is tough to only have one working eye. I mean, that makes playing a lot more difficult, obviously. I mean, it's a lot harder to maneuver and do certain things. No, 25 minutes left in the second half, plus added time. Ooh, Brunel making moves. Jesus Ferreira. Ooh, miscalculation by Ustari. Georgie. Oh, Georgie with a miss hit. Guys, we have 60 of you in the chat right now. Make sure you give it a like down below if you haven't already. We're at 40 likes. Let's try to get to 50. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are getting closer to 10,000, little over 180, excuse me, a little over 180 away until we hit 10,000 subscribers. Once we hit 10K, and our goal is to hit that also by MLS Cup playoffs, which is a little bit over a month away, we're going to be giving away a copy of FC 26 you're not going to miss. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little bell notification so you never miss any of my videos, live stream watch-alongs, or post-game recaps, which there will be a post-game recap after this game tonight. So make sure you hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of my videos. Mr. says, Joe Frazier was blind in one eye too. Really? Oh, Michael Bisping is a UFC fighter. Liver King is a fitness influencer. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know Joe Frazier, the boxer, was blind in one eye. That's cool. Or not cool as in like he's blind, but interesting fact. Hell of a fight too, Mr. I know that boxing's popular in the UK. That was a hell of a fight on Saturday night. I don't know if you stayed up for that, but that was incredible. Rocky says, Lar from Goonies also had one eye and he was a hero. Lar from the Goonies. Who was Lar from the Goonies? I've seen the Goonies, obviously, but who's Lar? I'd be surprised if Thomas Muller plays against the Forge. Oh, so is that who they play, the Forge? Forge FC? Vancouver will probably rest a bunch of players. They probably will. Will, is YouTube your dream? Yeah, it is. I mean, it is to a sense, like trying to help the league grow and soccer grow in this country, and talk to people about it and put out videos and content that people enjoy. Yeah, I do love doing that. Barry says F Nuhu. Yeah, the whole team has been pretty bad tonight. Other than Georgie, I'd say the team's been pretty bad. And Yamar. I don't think Yamar's really been at fault. Look how much open space Messi has. He never had that much open space in the last game, the Leagues Cup final. Barry F Nuhu with $10 super chat. F Nuhu, what kind of BS lazy pass was that? Nuhu's packed it in, Barry. He's packed it in. He has packed it in. Hell, he packed in a while ago, probably honestly, a couple years ago with the way he's played. Not good. They won the final without him. Won the final without him, Jordan Morris, Albert Rusnak, all these guys they were missing, and they won easily without them. Three-one. Who was it that scored? Was it Obed Vargas? Yep, Obed Vargas scores. 3-1. Seattle Sounders able to pull one back in the 69th minute. Inter Miami up 3-1 over them. So it's not going to be an identical flip of the 3-0 victory that Seattle had on Inter Miami in the Leagues Cup final, but they're still likely to win. There you go, Barry. There's your goal. Obed Vargas. Mr. Mister said Crawford versus Canelo. I watched it the next day. It was an incredible fight. Incredible fight. Vargas. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Harry's from the future. I think his stream somehow is a little bit ahead of ours. He said he was about 20 or 30 seconds ahead of us. Barry says Morris didn't have let's see, with the $10 super chat, Morris didn't fire a horrible shot directly at the keeper. He didn't force a terrible shot. I haven't even noticed him on the pitch though since he's been on. He's only been like, oh, that's a nice play. Oh, he should have shot that. Oh, bad giveaway to Jesus Ferreira. Oh, oh my God, what are they doing? Bad pass by Jordi Alba. Bad pass by Jordi Alba. This team looks gassed. Inter Miami, blood in the water, looking very, very gassed right now. Could Seattle be able to pull something back? They got 20 minutes. 20 minutes to maybe do something here. Yeah, but Joe Frazier beat Muhammad Ali with one eye. That's pretty impressive. Cheyenne's going to join us here for the last 20 minutes. Let's see. Argovia says, I saw you post a poll. Who do you think is the strongest MLS team right now? Who would make the best results right now in a Club World Cup group of death or CONCACAF Champions League or MLS Cup? Best team right now for that would probably be Vancouver or Seattle, probably. Not this Seattle team, but because this is kind of like a wounded Seattle team, but when they look good, I would say. Yeah, Miami looks super tired. They look fatigued, and if they're not careful, they can make a mistake and make this game closer than it should be. And there's still plenty of time left. There's a little less than 19 minutes plus added time. There's still plenty of time for Seattle to possibly stage a comeback. Harry says, yeah, I put $100 on plus 235 Seattle. So if I knew it was going to be I sure wouldn't have bet that. Mr. Yeah, they do look super tired. Will, who is playing great right now? In MLS, who's playing great right now? Vancouver's playing great. Charlotte's playing great. Seattle's been playing pretty great. I think that San Diego plays pretty great right now. There's a lot of good teams. That's why the MLS Cup playoffs are going to be very good this year. It's going to be very, very tough to predict. Rodrigo De Paul to Messi. Messi to Cello. Cello back to Messi. Messi finds Busquets. I think Miami do need to try to get one more goal here if they want to make it, just to put it away. Dude, I've seen Rodrigo De Paul fall down so many times on the ball. It's insane. Argovia says, I personally think Miami is still the strongest team. Yes, especially away. Every team can suck, but I think a home and away final or a neutral site, I think Miami would have one. I just think they have a lot of issues, but I don't think they're terrible. But there's, I don't know. They still got a lot of holes. Yeah, Obed Vargas finally came awake. He was not very good in the first half. The first probably 55 minutes, and he's looking a lot better. Ashcan says Wilfred Zaha has been cooking for Charlotte. He was a club legend at Crystal. Yeah, he is. He was struggling, and now he looks a lot better. Looks a lot better. He was very inconsistent the first part of the season. Then Pep Biel kind of has cooled down too. It's like they swapped roles. Yeah, and also too, they bring up a good point. They scored that cross when they scored that cross when Kim Kee had to go off for his injured hand. Miami is ready to cook Nashville. Yeah, maybe. I'm not big on Nashville. I think they're going to collapse down the stretch of the season. Personally, I don't think they really have the team to win it all. That's just me, though. That's just me. Jake says, "Hey guys in the chat, how are we all? Are you all okay? Are you an Inter Miami fan?" 75th minute, Inter Miami's up 3-1 over the Seattle Sounders in the revenge game after the League's Cup final. Jake says, "I support the Timbers, mate, but I'm from Wales." And the okay, yeah, Jake, I remember your name did sound familiar. Jake Davies, your name did sound familiar. I remember you from Wales. It's been a minute since I've seen you in the chat. Well, if you're a Timbers fan, I know you're enjoying this result. If you're a Timbers fan, I know you're enjoying this result. Oh, bad giveaway. Jordi Alba. Oh, I think Messi's offside. Oh, good save by Stefan Frey. Good save by Stefan Frey. Yep, F Seattle. That's funny. Well, they're not playing well tonight. Yeah, Messi scored his 880th goal of his career tonight, which is insane. Does he get to 1,000? We'll see. Cello down the right side. Cello with the cross, deflected by Nuhu. Cello fouls Nuhu. Rocky says Timbers fan here. Oh, yep. A lot of Timbers fans are happy tonight. Ashcan says Inter Miami fans are buzzing, showing promise heading into the final stretch of the MLS season. We'll see. We'll see what they're able to do down the stretch. Eric says, how many match days left? I think that decision day is a month from. Is it a month from Saturday? Let me see real quick. Let me see when decision day is. Decision day is October 18th. MLS decision day is October 18th, so it's a little over a month away. Month and 2 days away. Month and 2 days away. Miami spitting all over Seattle. Damn, we're being ruthless, huh? I don't even know if Cheyenne's going to make it. I'm going to have to, says my man Jake, we're probably going to have to wrap it up by the time he gets in here. We'll only have like 12 minutes left, and then we'll do the post game recap. Jordi Alba just got a yellow. Timbers representing, baby. Hey, Timbers look like they could maybe make some noise down the stretch. They've been pretty good in the they've been pretty good in the second half of the season. I mean, I think they've been pretty good. We'll see what can happen down the stretch. Still skeptical about Phil Neville, but we'll see. We'll see what they do. Georgie, nice play on cello. Oof. Lujan with a clearance hit Georgie. Ashkin says Lionel Messi is 1 goal away from Sam Surge's 21 goals. Nashville have played 30 games. Inter Miami is only 20, 27. Yeah, I think Messi will probably win the Golden Boot. I think he'll win the Golden Boot. He just has too many games in hand, and I just think that he'll end up winning it. He'll probably end up scoring 20, 25 goals. I'd say they have 8 games left. They have don't they have 8 games left? I think they have 8 games left because they had 9 heading into this past weekend. I think they got 8 games. I could be wrong about that, but I think they have 8 games left. But even if they have 7 left, he has 7 games to score 5 goals. I think he'll probably do that. I'd say. Ooh. '80th minute, 3-1 Inter Miami over Seattle Sounders. They're just playing keep away at this point. Ooh, Salvetti looks like he's coming in. The young Argentine sign they made from Newell Old Boys. Going to get his debut. I think it's Mateus Salvetti, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Matteo Salvetti. Yep. Matteo Salvetti will get his debut. Let's see who he comes on for. Let's see who he comes on for Inter Miami. Probably would come on for Tadeo Allende. Let's see what he can do. New U22 signing Salvetti. Apparently very talented young player, 19 years old, a lot of upside. We'll see what he can do. Barry says, did Falcone just did Falcone just outrun Morris? I think he might have, that's not good, obviously. We know how slow he is, Mr. Quicksand. Michael Pelly says, I see Nashville sliding outside of the top 4 spots, but still a great bounce back from last year. That is true. They definitely are playing a lot better than they were in 2024. And I think BJ Callahan's a good coach. Jake Davies says, come on, Miami, let's get another 3. Seattle in the mud. You're going to start a war, Jake. Angus says, Nashville scores again. Alex Mule at the 49th minute. So they're up 2-1 over the up 2-1 over, or excuse me, 2-0 over Philadelphia. Messi with a shot blocked by Reagan, easily saved by Stephen Frey. Nashville was good at 2022. Yeah, they were good in 2022, the year that Hani Mukhtar won MVP, and they were pretty good in 2023, or at least part of it. Made it to the Leagues Cup final and played Inter Miami. Wow, Salvetti gets a yellow card already, and it's like first 2 minutes of play. Yeah, I'd say that was definitely a foul on Brunel. Salvetti definitely fouled Brunel. Less than 7 minutes. Salvetti finds Rodrigo De Paul. Oh, finds Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba lays it off to Messi. Messi finds De Paul. Messi back to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba back to Rodrigo De Paul. Argovia says, "Hey, Will, it's 3:22 a.m. right now. I'm going to sleep now because I'm so sleepy. I'll come back at the next live stream. Keep up the good work. Good night." Appreciate it, Argovia. Good to see you, my friend. Jordi Alba back to Noah Allen. Back to Busquets. Busquets to Jordi Alba. Or is it Silvetti? I can't tell. No, it's no. I can't tell. It might be. Okay, that is Silvetti. Mr. says Silvetti obviously listening to Avilés in training. Yellow card machines, man. Yellow card machines. Probably is. Probably watching some yellow card 101 with Toto Avilés. Messi out wide to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba finds Silvetti for his first touch. Nice. Oh, just a little bit high. First shot for Inter Miami, a little bit high. He looks, minus the yellow, he looks all right. Not too bad, I guess. Ashcan says, yeah, he's in Switzerland. Finally, Ferreira comes out of the game. Come on for Danny Musovski, I think, right? Yep, Danny Musovski on for Jesus Ferreira. Jesus Ferreira absolutely stunk the joint up. Absolutely terrible for the Sounders. Jesus Ferreira absolutely stunk the joint up. Absolutely god-awful player. Galactic Prophet says, 50 likes. Yep, we did hit 50 likes. Got 53 likes. Gained like 15 subs too in this. And also, we're going to be doing a post-game recap you guys should check out. We'll break down the game, what we saw. Not a great performance by Seattle, but we'll talk about that in the post-game. Nice shot by Silvetti. He really wants that debut goal. Ace Lionel says, Seattle, what's up? Will, I wish the best of luck. Keep your dream. Appreciate that, my friend. Jake says, Ace Lionel, Seattle suck. F them. Mr. says, Silvetti's done more in 3 minutes than Allende did in 80. That's true. He did. He did. Messi's looking for Silvetti. Good touch. Bad pass, though. Eric Saul says Miami needs to make some more signings. Well, that ship has sailed for the rest of this season, but in the offseason, they definitely have a laundry list of moves that they need to make. Jake says, how many MLS grounds have you been to? 3. Been to 3 so far. Oh, bad pass from Messi. Messi to Salvetti, back to Messi. Messi to Rodrigo De Paul. They got 4 in him. Messi. Oh, he missed it. Good effort from Messi to try to win the ball back, but Seattle keeps possession. Oh, God. What is Usari doing? Michael Pelly says, the 2 farthest parts of the U.S.-based teams both sucked on the road. Go figure. 6-hour flight. Yep. Yeah, I agree. But also too, Seattle played a game Saturday, then had to fly out here, so that's a quick turnaround. That was close. I thought Messi was going to finish that too. I thought he was going to finish that. Oh, I thought Musovski was about to score there. I thought Messi was going to score there. Jake says, how was Mueller look since joining the Whitecaps? I saw he scored a hat trick. He's got like 3 PK goals and 1 goal in play, but he's looked pretty good. Like I do think he's made a difference in confidence for this team. He looks like he's fitting in very well. Team was already pretty good before him, and I think he's fitting in nicely and could be the final piece to actually make them a contender. So Vetti passes it back to Rodrigo De Paul. Oh, here we go. Cheyenne, this is going to be the shortest appearance ever. We got like maybe 4 minutes, my friend.
I know. I got here as soon as I could.
No, you're good. You're good. Pretty bad game by Seattle tonight. I know you missed some of it, but pretty bad game.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. I mean, it's not a good game, but I don't think it's like the absolute end of the world. Like hindsight, like Sounders fans, like you would take winning the Leagues Cup to then lose this game. Like I saw vengeance blood on Inter Miami's hands. And I was like, there's no way they don't come out of this game with a win. So I'm not super like, I don't think it's the end of the world. And Seattle have such an easy fixture list to close out the rest of the season. I do think we might see a bit of a championship hangover from Seattle. And it's something we talked about personally was Seattle won Leagues Cup without Frey, Morris, Rusnak. They're coming back. Do you think it messes up the mojo a bit? I mean, we're already kind of seeing it with Frey. Like that's everyone's been messaging me about Frey tonight.
Yeah, Barry was saying that you know he had a couple comments about that they shouldn't have messed with Thomas because he was working. Don't disagree with that. Don't disagree with that. I mean, Andrew Thomas was working. He was playing well. Won them a Leagues Cup final. I don't know why you would Barry
mess with the hot hand
with a $10 super chat. I just don't know why you would appreciate that. By the way, Barry, I don't know why you would mess with something if it's working. Like you don't, Andrew Thomas had all the momentum and he was playing so well. And he's a huge reason why they won. There's 5 minutes of ad time, by the way. He played so well in that final in an entire Leagues Cup. And they just completely, I wouldn't say that his confidence is gone because it's not been that long, but it could be gone if they don't switch back to him.
Yeah. You lose that momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. You lose that momentum and
too much stop and go.
And I thought also too, another player I thought was pretty bad tonight was Kim Ki-hee. I thought he was pretty bad tonight.
Falling off.
You
hate to see it.
Yeah, and De Rosario was pretty bad. Jesus Ferreira was normal, stink up the joint fashion. Really bad. I mean, look, the whole team was pretty bad. Obed Vargas had a pretty good 10-minute spell, but the whole entire team was pretty bad outside of Yamar, I would say.
And Georgie.
And Georgie. Yeah, Georgie had some really good plays down the left side. He looked pretty good for most of the game. But De Rosario, Ferreira, several. Roldán was okay, but dude, I swear to you, Obed Vargas was damn near a magician the first like 60 minutes of the game. Like he was non-existent.
Yeah.
Non-existent the first 60 minutes of the match. Nope. Big shot from Obed.
Yeah, I think glaring players for this game, I think definitely Frey is one of them. I think Rothrock and Roldán was definitely at fault. I believe the first goal, giving it away, and then Rothrock. I mean, like he's been really good up to this point, but the second goal you give away, like why are you like? I mean, I think we talked about it like the last stream, right? With Rothrock, like how many times he's hit the floor. Like it's a really bad habit he's getting of always hitting the deck.
Yeah. I couldn't even tell between him and Kim Ki-hee at a certain point of the game because they both had left bandages on their hands. They had the double club. So that was interesting. But yeah, I mean, the team just didn't look as good tonight. And honestly, though, part of me thinks, I don't want to diminish Inter Miami's win because it is a win's a win, right?
Win's a win, yeah.
And but there were people out. This was not the same starting 11 that won the Leagues Cup final. So you do.
I think it was relatively similar. I don't think it was like super.
I think there was like maybe 3 or 4 different starters, And by the way, there's about a little bit over 2 minutes left of ad time. I think obviously Kim Ki-hee didn't start. I think Reagan started in that game.
Yeah. Reagan starts in this game, right? Or
Baker
no?
Whiting. No. Kim Ki-hee started.
Yeah, Nuhu. That's an interesting talking point, huh?
Yeah,
When
Baker Whiting.
you think about it. Yeah, he started. Yeah.
Jake Davies says, "Oh, this guy on the stream supports Seattle. Oh, okay, I'll be nice. Then he seems like a decent guy. I just subbed to his channel too. As more MLS content, the better." Jake, appreciate that. I know Cheyenne obviously will appreciate that too.
Thank you, Jake. I mean, we will say, like, Will can contest. Like, I'm a fairly like neutral fan. Like I respect a lot of the teams in the league. Like,
he's not allergic to honesty.
No, I'm not. That's a good way to put it. I'm not allergic to honesty, really.
Yeah.
And that's probably why a lot of Seattle fans don't always love what I have to say.
Yeah. Some people don't like keeping it real.
Yeah.
But you know, Nuhu didn't start obviously in that final. He started tonight. Kim Ki-hee started tonight. He didn't start in that final. Who else started in this game that didn't start? Georgie didn't start in that final, did he?
Yeah.
He came in the second
half. But he
half.
came off the bench. I mean, he made a difference. He was a huge impact in that final.
He did.
Sure.
Just, you know, starting 11 though.
Yeah.
There was another one. Obviously, Stephen Frey starting tonight. That's 4 right there. There's a fifth too. I'm trying to think of who the fifth would be. There is another one who started tonight who did not start in the final. But even still, 4 is pretty crazy. 4 out of the 11 starting. I mean, it's not like it was just 1 or 2. And
yeah, that's true. That's fair.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely, you know, not. I mean, they did play a game Saturday, right, against the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And then they had to travel from Saturday, you know, on Saturday to Miami Tuesday for this game. Yeah. That's a long distance.
Yeah, it is. Again, I'm just not too fussed about it personally. Again, I think the biggest concern is I think we'll look at it when we do our when we go post game on my channel, but Seattle could be slightly worried about losing their 4th place position because if LAFC win their games in hand, they leapfrog them. I think if Portland get like that, because they play each other, Portland wins that game, they leapfrog Seattle. Then Austin's only 1 point off of Seattle. So it's like you could have a slip and slide situation happening slightly, but I'm not too worried.
That's the final. It is 3-1. Inter Miami gets their revenge against the Seattle Sounders at home. Big win, what they needed desperately. They looked really good tonight, and they get a much needed win, man. Seattle looked pretty bad tonight, but it was to be expected with the distance and stuff. Cheyenne, I'm going to do a post-game recap on my I'm going to do a post-game recap video, and then I'll hop on your channel. I would say try to do it around, set it for around like maybe 7:15 your time.
Yeah, that's fine.
I appreciate all of you guys who tuned in. I hope you enjoyed this live watch along on a Tuesday night. All you guys who joined us, make sure you like the stream down below. Look out for that post-game recap because you're not going to miss it. We're going to break down the game of what we saw. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already because we're getting closer to 10,000. We're a little over 180 away. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the little bell notification so you never miss a video, post-game recap, or live watch along. And I will see you guys. Oh, real quick, Barry with a $10 super chat says Seattle wins 4-3 on aggregate. That is, hey, that is technically true. They did win on aggregate, Barry. So I guess that is the half glass full perspective on it. But they also have the trophy to prove it, right? But I appreciate you guys all for tuning in with me. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.